Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys a bunch of stuff from Maxace. Oh boy, this'll be a fun conversation. Thanks so much to Maxace for sending this stuff in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. So the reason that I'm laughing, there is a new knife here, but there's two knives that were that I've already showcased that are just in different colors. The reason I'm laughing, you guys probably remember that I did a testing video. Just to recap that, I got to cut the seals on these. I'll link this stuff down in the description, by the way. To recap that, the point of that video was, number one, to 100% abuse it. And by abuse, I mean use it incorrectly. My technique was incorrect, right? What I was doing was not the right way to do. Like, even if you're going to baton, it was the wrong way to baton, right? It was an old pallet. It was not with the grain. A million things, right? I was demonstrating what not to do, but also at the same time, I was doing what people sort of automatically assume that you can do with stuff like this. And Maxace is cool. They know that I'm going to do and say whatever I want. And they were, they were like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you didn't hurt yourself, you know, after the video, because I didn't tell them I was doing it. This is the Vortex S, which it's in a green one, you know. But anyways, at the end of the video, I concluded, I said, this is a stupid test, right? I mean, like, I felt like this was going to fail out a lot earlier than it did. It broke on the relief cut, which, oh, look at that. Is this different? Yeah. Huh. Well, it's got a different relief cut. So people were pointing out to me that there was, you know, part of the reason for the failure was the issue with the relief cut. I just always thought in my mind, I think batoning with a knife that utilizes a frame lock or liner lock, no matter how robust, is kind of silly, right? I think we can split hairs and we can, you know, we can fight about it and we can argue. We can go to Blade Forums and we can fight about it, or wherever, Reddit, wherever you want to go. Or you could just use a fixed blade, right? But apparently, like, I think Maxace had done testing with this knife and they were pretty... You know, they were pretty proud of it. So I feel like this is a cool way to do it, what they did, right? Because I didn't tell them I was going to test it. I didn't tell them I was going to break it. The whole point of the video was, don't expect your folding knife to withstand this type of obvious abuse from a person who is not even doing this correctly, right? I'm a design reviewer. I don't like to do testing like that for that exact reason. It also attracts a whole wild crowd, you know. So anyways, they were like, hey, we want to send you some more of these, you know. So I'm going to talk with them and see, like, are you like wanting me to like test this again? We'll see. But I believe that relief cut is different. So yeah, I want to open up this other one here. I think it looks cool in green. And this other one I think is black. Yeah. So I've maintained, you know, part of the reason why a lot of you are probably asking, why would you even do that? Like, are you really actually trying to, like, you know, like, duh, obviously, it's going to, you know, like, that's going to fail there, but were you really trying to prove something? Well, so the whole reason for the test in the first place is because some of the, like, I'm trying to open this up. These knives that have these heavy pins, like this, right? Where this knife is bracing, this got a different relief cut too? Yeah. Okay. So instead of, like, you know, cornered off, which I didn't know. I had no idea on a relief cut if it's like squared off. This is apparently creates like some sort of weakness. This isn't me like learning this. This is from like people telling me this will break if it's cut like this. So maybe they have changed this so that it's stronger. I don't know. Maybe that's why they sent it to me. Right. But yeah, these knives with these heavy pins sort of give people the impression that it's supposed to be able to do anything. And I've always said on this channel, as a design reviewer and not somebody who does any scientific testing whatsoever. Like, I don't do that. If I feel like it, right, as I've done in the past, I'll go out and chop an iPad in half with a sword. Whether or not 40 people from some weird corner of the knife community don't like my testing methods, right? I'm still going to go do it because I can do that if I want to. But the point is that folding knives in general have, limited ability, right? In terms, like, just from like a basic logical perspective, once you are doing certain types of tasks, you should simply use the right tool, which is a fixed blade, right? But these types of knives, I think, give people the impression that they are as strong or can be used in place of a fixed blade in any situation or in some situations. And I always argue that I don't think that's correct. This has incredible surface contacts between the external stops. We have this extra stop pin, right? And that's all great. But just like the other ones, there's a little bit of play here, right? When the lock bar is not engaging, and when the lock bar is engaging, there's obviously no play. And that means that if you smack on the spine, some of that force is going to go into the lock bar and ultimately into the weakest spot, which is right here. And that's where it failed. But apparently, not just because it's thin right here. According to some people in the community, it failed because they had like sharp rectangular cutouts, I guess. Again, I'm learning. I don't know any of this, right? So I'm going to say what I said at the end of that video, which apparently was missed. I don't think this is the right locking system. I think without the lock bar, I think like if you had something that held the lock bar over and maybe yet another pin that went across here, maybe then, right? Or maybe a huge crossbar lock, maybe then, because of the way that the force is like transferred, right? Maybe then you could pound on the spine. But then again, when we let logic settle in, which apparently doesn't when we get into this topic, why are we hitting the spine? It has a pivot at all. Why are we even considering that, right? I think the idea with this whole system was use it to chop, which it actually did fine at. I mean, that force is mostly going back here. Maybe a little bit's coming back in here. I don't know, right? But it actually did fine at chopping. So I feel like this is probably just fine for light chopping and light things like that. But I personally, even if this is more robust, I don't know that I would want to depend on this, for those types of tasks. I would, again, just use a fixed blade. So I don't know. Let me talk with Maxace and see, if that was their intention, right? I mean, if they say, hey, yeah, no, we actually do feel like that should be able to stand up to anything. You should definitely test it. Well, heck yeah, then I will, right? That would be awesome. But I don't need their permission to do that. But at the same time, I don't want to be showcasing, something and saying, look at this thing that's not intended to do this. It broke. That's silly. So anyways, that's my perspective on that. But we'll see. We'll talk with them. And then this last one here, I think, is actually a new model. Maxace Perseus, gray handle, red carbon fiber inlay. That actually sounds kind of interesting. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Perseus. Ooh, that's actually really nice looking. Now, the red generally isn't my cup of tea, but, I mean, closed up. Oh, we got a Zerk pit. Ooh! What do we got here? For a second, I saw those little marks. I thought it was Damascus for a second. I don't think it is. This is like a darkened tie. The pivot's definitely zirconium. Definitely. Gray handle, red CF inlay. It just says MagnaCut. No idea what they're hardening that MagnaCut to. We'll find out. Actually, really nice blade here. Really nice blade. Oh, I love that with what looks like a hand rub satin there. Definitely a Zerk pivot. Probably darkened tie, pivot collar, back spacer, and pocket clip. I don't believe that's zirconium, but hey, I like surprises. MagnaCut OM47. Okay. Really nice. Maxace showcasing their more practical side. Actually, really, really cool. Jimping could probably be a little bit more, aggressive or whatever. But honestly, the knife is really, really nice, and I can just barely get a full grip on it. I bet that's just shy of 8 inches. That blade is really nice. It's honestly a step up from a regular satin finish, whether it's hand rub or belt satin. But yeah, I make revenue off of these when people buy them, but I don't think people realize, not from Maxace. I have no affiliate. There was people getting really confused by this. Like I somehow was trying to like save face with Maxace. That's ridiculous. I say and do whatever I want on this channel, and the companies I work with know that. If you talk with them, they'll say, MC's a nice guy, but he's a wild card. We never have any idea what he's going to do or say. When you guys buy these, you'll notice, the Maxace links, some of them actually go to Blade HQ. I can link to the Maxace website, but those aren't paid links. Those links are literally just for convenience, right? So when I get paid off of Maxace knives, it's from Blade HQ, who has nothing to do with this video. I know it's hard. It's like, well, what do you expect us to do? All we can do is speculate, right? We don't know what your motivations are. I try to make that clear. Sometimes the things that I talk about, I can, provide paid links. Sometimes not. Sometimes the knives get returned. Sometimes they don't. You'd think you'd see a pattern. Oh, okay, so the stuff that you say is really, really good, those are going to have the affiliate links. And I say, yeah, but if you look back, you'll find that that's not perfectly consistent. Sometimes I'll review knives very positively that I cannot make money on. Sometimes I will, review them positively and I can't make money on them and they have to go back. I don't even get to keep the knife. Sometimes I get to keep it and I can make money on it and I'll give it a negative review, right? And if you've been watching for a long time, you know this, but people who watch 1 or 2 uploads and then just get lazy and speculate, this is where they go, right? This is what happens. And on this channel, it's really great that I have generated all these subscribers, and that's cool. But I know there are a lot of eyes on this channel, and the vast majority of those eyes are not actually paying attention to my content. So I would invite you to do that, right? Or ask me, reach out. I don't like stirring up drama or anything like that. But that video I did, people were like, oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I see. No, you did. It was just me having fun with a Maxace knife and an old pallet. That's all it was. Jeez Louise. We'll see what Maxace wants me to do with these. Maxace has been really cool over the years. They've always just let me say and do whatever I wanted, which is cool. Those are the companies I like to work with because I like to tell them, sometimes I'm going to say mean things about your products, right? In the case of Maxace, I might break your product, So I appreciate that. But those of you who do watch and you know how this channel works, I appreciate you. And if you don't know how the channel operates, I hope that you watch more so that you can get an idea. This is just an unboxing and first impressions. So we will, we'll actually do the review of this one. I don't know what I'm going to do with these guys here, but I appreciate Maxace sending them in anyway. That's going to be pretty much it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.